Cashapp. I've been doing this like 5 years.
guys? Whatever this spraying is doing a good job. It's all around us. It's all around us. It's everywhere, actually. I was getting all my baklavas together. I was finding stuff like, holy smack, I forgot I even had. What's going on, Rondo? What's going on, Margarita? Hey, where's your old man at? Where's Wolf at? I decided I wasn't going to notify anybody. I'm going to see what's going on, what's happening, if some of the things I did work or not. So how's everybody doing? Pretty good, I hope. I don't say that to bring anybody's, down. I'm just saying, I hope everybody's really good. Hey, Sons of Bets, appreciate it. Anyway, a lot of y'all know I've got some videos I'm going to upload. They're kind of in because I believe they will allude to something that might be beneficial, relationships and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna have to change this light. It is really going dead. I got triple A's. Yeah. Let's turn it off. If you don't see me, don't see me. If you see me, cool. As you know, the so-called I don't like using the term government, but the parasitical things with their masks and everything else, they always can be controlling the internet and everything else. I wonder if I should close that window though, because they're spraying some really freaky stuff. There's a video that I have. I don't know if it's Ukraine, somewhere in Russia, whatever. I don't know. But I tell you this much. That explosion looks nuclear. Is it a big bad one? I couldn't tell you. I know that they are using weapons and things that a lot of you have no idea about. You're all encamped. They're encamped all around us. Okay? Whether you want to believe it or not, I'm not saying to officiate, to be an official or officiate fear or anything like that. It's the last thing I'm doing. And what I'm saying is, I'm going to stick to ordering books. Anything else, if I don't grow it, oh well. I'm looking even in the grocery stores, and I'm looking at how there's a couple of brands taking over all the mini brands. And what's very peculiar is I actually utilize these keywords when I go and I Google or information. This is what shows you they're controlling it. And some things people are talking about, but it's hard to find. Um, Unless you know these individuals, you're around them and they're going to speak about things. Um, I don't want to say certain things, but you're in it and you're doing this. You are in this and all you're doing is nada. They're whatever they're doing, it's speeding it up. I met somebody who's a immigrant, but not an immigrant. Ex-military, blah, blah, blah. Brought here with his family, given certain shots to not be affected by something. It's like they're training them at night and some at day for cleanup or some sort. Right now, all around you. Now, there's many immigrants who came here to get away from a lot of bad things, who always wanted to get here to make better of themselves. But then there's this group. You see how they've indoctrinated Sherman and so many others, right? You see how many police forces have become so corrupt. It's not like it wasn't. There's a lot of things going on, and nobody's really paying attention to these things. And the ones who are, well, they're going to gaslight. You know what I'm saying? They're going to cap. They're going to look. For a long time, fact checkers wasn't doing nothing, right? Because we know who's in control of that. When it first came off, it was Hillary's cousin, right? Out of CNN, right? Don't know nothing. But the agenda must be fulfilled. So right now, if you put up anything showing decency about Hamas or whatever, these so-called Zionists who are controlling the narrative are going to silence your videos. They're going to remove them. They're going to give you a strike and all this other stuff. That's not supposed to be happening. Yet, the majority aren't saying anything. They're so worried about a bag. So worried about $1. If that's beyond selfish. That is literally the individuals we don't require nor have need of. So make subtle but important choices. And if you need to, because you're still vexed by feelings or emotions, express them with politeness. Be cordial. In leaving a statement for this individual, whether they read it or not, that will suspend them for a moment in thought. Then unfollow and go on about your business. You don't have to curse them out, blah, blah, blah. Many people are pretty ignorant. Okay. I wanted to read this out of The Indian in His Wigwam, right? It's a little far back. Like I said, I've been, wow. And I want you to pay attention. Okay. Well, there's a lot of good stuff in here. This is The Indian. This is the book I received the day before. All right. Did I get this one yesterday? I think I got this one yesterday. I got like 4. I got a whole bunch, y'all, actually. I didn't show you every one of them. It's because I want to surprise you. I don't want to destroy y'all with a whole lot of books and y'all be like, just, well, they keep coming in. The Return of the Gods. Yeah. And the end, everything you want to know about the apocalypse by Mark Hickok. Yeah. So, but this one right here by Henry Schoolcraft. Remember Schoolcraft, the American Gods, Schoolcraft. I don't want to go into it deep. I know some of y'all went and researched it, but I'm gonna go ahead and read this to you. Okay. It's a little bit. All right. No, we're going to come back and get into the other ones later. But I want to read this to you. I want you to really pay attention, okay? Let me make sure. Let me go back to. I'm gonna read that, but I want to make sure. Excuse me. Where did I see it at? Before I get into it deeply. All right, because this is Confessions. All right, the prophetess and all kind of stuff. All right, and words and letters and stuff you've never heard of. Let me like over here. Okay. Now, as you know, this is not a mongrel. That is a half Negro Dutch or French, which all the French, Dutch, all of them, they're all the same people, but the original people don't exist. Here goes another one based on California and some of my peoples. Okay, this is a pale skin wrote this book, right? Red Race of America by Henry Schoolcraft. Now, red in the French term, and you can look it up by keywords by me telling you this. It was mostly the French and the Spanish would say, we're going to make your black skin bleed red. And so the common name out of Homer for my peoples who were giant killers, the ones that were bad, programmed, or they were giants who were captured and their offspring raised like anybody else's in a lie. So we had to subjugate and do them, take care of them. That was Tartary. This is, you can look it up. So all this red skin like me, like I'm kind of brunette in color, right? That's not what it meant. It meant the blood, scalp, the blood. Okay, because you got to remember some of the most worst expressions was their hair is different. Let's cut it off. It's not like they didn't know because they did it in France. They did it everywhere, doing all the extermination, genocide of the autochthonous original people who were in relationship to us, whether it be the Algonquins. As you know, the first ones with Thanksgivings on the Pequot. It's funny how these Mongols always running their mouths, but the Pequot, like Narragansett, all these people are melanated like us, right? And nobody has nothing to say because they have become a part of this Mennonite, like aggressive, stereotypical infusion of, I always say, Cabbage Patch children and orphans who were misguided and lied to by the very people who are running everything as you see them running it. And you would think that they would shy away from it and start accepting a different truth, because it's known in most of the stories, even the story I have to tell, that if the world knew the truth, the enemy would shit themselves. Excuse my expression, but that's what it is. And yet many people choose to remain ignorant because they believe what they've been given, to which that's literally what it was given, is the answer, to antithesis to everything. And how could that be if everything about your existence is a lie, a perversion? Okay? So anyway, let me pull this out. Here we go. 1848. Need I say more? So I want to read this right here. Noted sketches of the lives of noted red men and women. Now, this individual that made this book right here, what this individual did is he went ahead and he copied from existing books to reestablish, I guess, the original, because some of the pages in here are hard to read. It's obviously not from microfiche. It's an old form of, as you see here, it's literally, you can see the pages. Let me show you. All right, I just want to make sure that you're aware of this, okay? See, I did this when I was in college, or on some stuff we were allowed to. See all those pages? So literally holding the book open, press flat, and getting all the information they require, okay? So the sketches, they're in here. They're very few compared to what I was told before I because even in the PDF, it's a lot of it's not there. Okay, all right. I'm trying to look for this one. I'm gonna read it. We got time. We got time. Nothing but time. Even if it was to stop tomorrow, we still have time. And they don't. Their choices. Oh, well. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this reading, okay? I'll look for that later. It's in there. A couple of good pictures. Anyway, sketches, excuse me. If you want, you can go ahead and the race of the Red Race of America by Henry Schoolcraft, the Indian in his wigwam. You can go ahead and pull up all his sketches. And you can Google or Fire, however, whatever platform you're utilizing. So, Confessions of Catherine Ogie Okwa, or the Woman of the Blue-Robed Cloud. Okay, the prophecies of, I forget how to pronounce this, Gega Mignon or something like that. Anyway, these confessions of the Western Pathanus were made after she had relinquished the prophetic office, discarded all the ceremonies of the Indian Medowan and Jenkuin. I forget how to pronounce the word. I actually looked it up. Jesukuia, something like that. Okay, and united herself to the Methodist. Listen to the Methodist Episcopal Church, MEC. Y'all know who was the first of the MEC Church, right? The so-called Negroes. Anywho, of which up to our latest dates, she remained a consistent member. They are narrated in her own words, and here we go. When I was a girl of about 12 or 13 years of age, my mother told me to look out for something that would happen to me. Accordingly, one morning early in the middle of winter, I found an unusual sign and ran off as far from the lodge as I could, and remained there until my mother came and found me out. People still talk that way. She knew what was the matter and brought me nearer to the family lodge and bade me help her in making a small lodge of branches of the spruce tree. She told me to remain there and keep away from everyone, and as a division, to keep myself employed in chopping wood, and that she would bring me plenty of listen to this, prepared basswood bark to twist into twine. Another tree that's indigenous here, besides the gopher tree, which I helped curate the last 280 something. I don't know how many are there now. It's a long time ago. She told me she would come to see me in 2 days, and that in the meantime I must not even taste snow. So it's cold. Take of no drink nor of any so-called sustenance. I did as directed. At the end of 2 days, she came to see me. I thought she would surely bring me something to eat, but to my disappointment, she brought nothing. I suffered more from thirst than hunger, though I felt my stomach gnawing. My mother sat quietly down and said, after asserting that I had not tasted anything as she directed, "My child, you are the youngest of your sisters, and none are now left me." That means left with me. "Of all my sons and children, but you 4. Alluding to her 2 elder sisters, herself, and a little son, still a mere lad, who she continued will take care of us poor women. Now, my daughter, listen to me and try to obey. Blacken your face and fast, really. Blacken your face and fast. That means take the soot and put it over your face like ash. Okay? I'm just letting you know something. Yes, like ash, y'all. Anyway. Blacken your face and fast, really, that the Master of life may have pity on you and me and on us all. Do not in the least deviate from my counsels, and in 2 days more will come to you. He will help you, if you are determined to do what is right, and tell me whether you are favored or not by the true Great Spirit. And if your visions are not good, reject them. So saying, she departed. I took my little hatchet and cut plenty of wood and twisted the cord that was to be used in sewing up pokwe un or mats for the use of the family. And gradually I began to feel less of appetite, but my thirst continued. Still, I was fearful of touching the snow to allay it by sucking it, as my mother had told me that if I did so, though secretly, the Great Spirit would see me, and the lesser spirits also, and that my fasting would be of no use. So I continued to fast till the fourth day, when my mother came with a little tin dish, and filling it with snow, she came to my lodge, and was well pleased to find that I had followed her injunctions. Okay? You see that? So I continued to fast till the fourth day. Okay? She melted the snow and told me to drink it. I did so and felt refreshed, but had a desire for more, which she told me would not do. And I contented myself with what she had given me. She again, that she was fine. Okay? That's what it means. She again told me to get and follow a good vision. A vision that might not only do us good, but also benefit mankind, if I could. She then left me, and for 2 days she did not come near me, nor any human being, and I was left to my own reflections. The night of the sixth day, I fancied a voice called to me and said, "Poor child, I pity your condition. Come, you are invited this way." And I thought the voice proceeded from a certain distance from my lodge. And I obeyed the summons, and going to the spot from which the voice came, found a thin shining path, like a silver cord, which I followed. It led straight forward, and it seemed upward. After going a short distance, I stood still, and saw on my right hand the new moon, with a flame rising from the top like a candle, which threw around a broad light. On the left appeared the sun near the point of its setting. I went on, and I beheld on my right the face of Gegak Bekwa, or the everlasting woman, who told me her name and said to me, "I give you my name, and you may give it to another. I also give you that which I have, life everlasting. I give you long life on the earth and skill in saving life in others. You go, you are called on high." Whoo-wee. I went on and saw a man standing with a large circular body and raised from his head like horns. He said, "Fear not, my name is Monedo Winenis, or the little man spirit. I give this name to your first son. It is my life. Go to the place you are called to visit." I followed the path till I could see that it led up to an opening in the sky, when I heard a voice, and standing still, saw the figure of a man standing near the path, whose head was surrounded with a brilliant halo, and his breast was covered with squares. He said to me, "Look at me. My name is Oshua, way of Gekek, or the bright blue sky. I am the veil that covers the opening into the sky. Stand and listen to me, and do not be afraid. I am going to endow you with gifts of life and put you in array that you may withstand and endure." Immediately I saw myself encircled with bright points which rested against me like needles, but gave me no pain, and they fell at my feet. This was repeated several times, and at each time they fell to the ground. He said, "Wait and do not fear, till I have said and done all I am about to do." I then felt different instruments, first like owls, and then like nails stuck into my flesh. But neither did they give me pain, but like the needles fell at my feet as often as they appeared. He then said, "That is good," meaning my trial by these points. You will see length of days. Advance a little farther, said he. I did so, and stood at the commencement of the opening. You have arrived, said he. At the limit you can at the limit you cannot pass. I give you my name, you can give it to another. Now return, look around you. There is a conveyance for you. Do not be afraid to get on its back. And when you get on your lodge, you must listen to this. Take the witch. Take that which sustains the human body, excuse me. I turned and saw a kind of fish swimming in the air, and getting upon it as directed, was carried back with celerity, my hair floating behind me in the air, and as soon as I got back, my vision ceased. In the morning, being the 6th day of my fast, my mother came with a little bit of dried trout. But such was my sensitiveness to all sounds and my increased power of scent produced by fasting that before she came in sight, I heard her, while a great way off. And when she came in, I could not bear the smell of the fish or herself either. She said, I have brought something for you to eat, only a mouthful to prevent your dying. She prepared to cook it, but I said, Mother, forbear. I do not wish to eat it. The smell is offensive to me. She accordingly left off preparing to cook the fish, and again encouraged me to preserve and try to become a comfort to her in her old age and bereaved state, and left me. I attempted to cut wood as usual, but in the effort I fell back on the snow from weariness and lay some time. At last I made an effort and rose and went to my lodge and lay down. I again saw the vision, and each person who had before spoken to me and heard the promise of different kinds made to me and the songs. I went the same path which I had pursued before and met with the same reception. I also had another vision or celestial visit, which I shall presently relate. My mother came again on the 7th day and brought me some pounded corn boiled in snow water, grits. For she said I must not drink water from lake or river, or porridge of sort. After taking it, I related my vision to her. She said it was good and spoke to me to continue my fast 3 days longer. I did so, at the end of which she took me home and made a feast in honor of my success and invited a great many guests. I was told to eat sparingly and to take nothing too hearty or substantial. But this was unnecessary, for my abstinence had made my senses so acute that all animal food had a gross and disagreeable odor. And that was about 15 things I got out of reading that. Oh, it goes on. Listen to this. After the 7th day of my fast, she continued, while I was lying in my lodge, I saw a dark round object descending from the sky like a round stone and enter my lodge. As it came near, I saw that it had small feet and hands like a human's body. It spoke to me and said, I give you the gift of seeing into futurity, that you may use it for the benefit of yourself and the Indians, your relations and tribes people. It then departed, but as it went away, it assumed wings and looked to me like the red-headed woodpecker. In consequence of being thus favored, I assumed the art of a medicine, woman and a prophetess, but never those of a wabeno. Sound close to wabo? The first time I exercised the prophetical art was at the strong and repeated excuse me, oh my goodness, strong and repeated solicitations of my friends. Solicitations, but I say solicitation. It was in the winter season, and they were then encamped west of the Wasakata, or Brule River of Lake Superior. And between it and the plains west, there were, besides my mother's family and relatives, a considerable number of families. They had been some time at the place and were near starving, as they could as they could find no game. One evening the chief of the party came into my mother's lodge. I had oh god, oh burp. Anyway, I had laid down, excuse me, and was supposed to be asleep, and he requested of my mother that she would allow me to try my skill to relieve them. My mother spoke to me, and after some conversation, she gave her consent, and I told them to build the Jesokon, or Prophet's Lodge, okay, strong, and gave particular directions for it. I directed that it should consist of 10 posts or saplings, each of a different kind of wood, which I named. When it was finished and tightly wound with skins, the entire population of the encampment assembled around it, and I went in, taking only a small drum. I immediately knelt down, and holding my head near the ground in a position as near as may be prostrate, began to beating my drum and reciting my songs of incantations. Incantations, people. The lodge commenced shaking violently by supernatural means. I knew this by the compressed current of air above and the noise of motions. This being regarded by me and by all without as a proof of the presence of the spirits. I consulted, I ceased beating and singing and lay still, waiting for questions in the position I had first assumed. The first question put to me was in relation to the game and where it was to be found. The response was given by the orbicular spirit who had appeared to me. He said, "How short-sighted you are. If you will go in a west direction, you will find game in abundance." Next day, the camp was broken up, and they all moved westward, the hunters, as usual, going far ahead. They had not proceeded far beyond the bounds of their former hunting circle when they came upon tracks of moose, and that day they killed a female and 2 young moose nearly full grown. They pitched their encampment anew and had abundance of animal food in this new positor. It goes on and it just, man, listen here. Okay, we're talking about right here. This is 1822. Okay, 1822, and we'll continue on. But I just wanted to read that a little bit to give you a little sampling. Now, I don't really want to mark this, so I have my pencil here that I've been reading. I make little marks on the page where where I'm left off. All right, get out. There we go. That way I don't disrupt or destroy this with a whole lot of markings and gluey things. Okay. Today's the 30th. So yeah, the Indian in his wigwam. First of all, it's funny how you have all the people playing our ancestors disrespectfully. Even watch videos of them making wigwams and stuff, and I'm sitting there going, like, nobody knew how to do that, and that was ceremonial. We didn't live in those. Wigwams and longhouses were ceremonial, away from the buildings we had built, to stay connected to the earth and respectfully so. people who traveled with yurts and TVs, our people did not do that. Not at all. No pale skin used long houses and wigwams the earth over. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed that little read about this prophetess, the fasting, the importance of it. Near like death, you could say, when that's not really what's happening. You get rid of impurities. I'm like I said, I'm doing all this fruit and stuff. I really, and nuts and stuff. I really want to, excuse me, do a dry fast. But it's good to have certain people. It'd be great to have like 2 or 3 women around when I do that. And then brothers who are probably doing the same thing. These are the things that need to be done, and it's hard. It's hard by yourself. It is. But you can do it. You can do it. And so that's where I'm kind of at, because all they're doing is more poison and more poison and more poison. Yeah, people just don't get it. Okay. Our history is all over the place. It's everywhere. I mean, if you want to believe that you was a, oh my goodness, I saw this one where I'm not gonna say what crown color or whatever. Talking about like we're the Anunnaki lizard. No, we're the serpent people, but it's not what people think. Hey, some things you got to take a baby steps in. It was his brother. He was doing his thing, and it sounded like Nature Boy with all that. We're the yeah. But it's not that we're the serpent people. It's just there's a longer vice to it. There's a more meaningful relationship, with the earth. And if that was the case, then we have no problems with the pale skinned lizard folk, right? They live type narrative for those who believe still in that without knowing. There's a lot of things, but like I said, what can you do about those things? If that was the case, they've pretty much broken people down, but they're aware of possibilities. And that's why I'm saying it's very important for you to take advantage of these possibilities that you have. Or stay where they've created. Stay inundated and lazy and slothful and whining and all the other stuff that negates more negative energy, So anyway, was that? Hey, Marcus, what's going on? Golden Cougar, what's going on? What's up? Herbal, yep, gotcha. What's going on, beloved? Marcus Williams, Snoo, what's up, baby? Mr. Lone Wolf, hello, everyone. Anyway, it's good to have you all up in here. 6 Boss. I just want to share that. I'm going to go ahead and sign off at 45. We're going to come back about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I'm setting up a podcast probably for tomorrow. I had to reschedule an appointment because I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it today. So it's going to be for the 7th, I think, next week, Thursday or something like that, over in St. George, Utah. That's for my Utah people over there who know, they'll I can't say anything. They watch everything. Anyway, I love you all, man, and we're going to keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that got to be done. What else you expect? There's a lot of things that have been done to you. So it's easier, but nobody's really ready for the easy part, because even the parts that can manifest something different, people are having a hard time doing. What else can I say? I'm tread lightly in certain areas because I don't want people to get flustered and everything else, because we have this propensity to blame, which is just a sick disease. That's another disease. Because most of the time when people blame, they look for somebody they think is weak or somebody that a group of people can gang up on. It's just all darkness, and that's no light. And those are the individuals we need to abscond from, to remove. And then go on about your way. Enjoy your life. You know what I mean? Yes. Well, yes, everyone, actually. The thing is, we gotta get from under the bull, you know what I mean? And inner reflect, do the things that could be beneficial. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. I appreciate y'all coming in. And that podcast, when I listen to a podcast, I'm not you don't see me asking all these specific people to come on and talk. I'm just not gonna do it. Not yet. They still fancy religion, this, that, and all that with no clear understanding of any of it. So I'm gonna set it up, and all are welcome to come on and speak. We don't do Clubhouse and we don't do tick-tocky like nonsense, because I listen to some of those and they just, yeah, they got some information, but they everybody consummated like it's their position with this information, as if that's not how it works. You have major sages, just not everybody's meant to be the know-it-all. You know what I mean? And that's the world, that crooked side of this world they created. Instead of us being dynamic to the earth, you think about the window patterns in the Tartarian buildings. They were called a rose, like a flower, which is dynamic to our existence, as far as there is no straight line. Like 1 and 1 plus 1 don't equal 2, and people have a hard time gaining the knowledge in that esoteric. But that's just a whole nother dynamic. Sounds and vibrations. You put sand, silicon sand, on let's say a hemp table or cotton or wool, and with a hard surface underneath it, and you put these sounds in a certain pattern and underneath, and you beat out the 404 and 808, and you do these different things that 3 this or 429 or 758, or these you get these different rose flower type designs that literally, because of the vibrations, the frequency creates it. So what does that mean? The numbers is colors, and lights and sounds are light, and it's a whole nother dynamic. It's not 1 and 2 dimensional. Now we start getting into this peripheral of 100 dimensions. We started realizing that they've stomped us down into a place, and they want us to stay right where there's light, but in the darkness. You dig? So what's up, baby? How you doing? That's my boo sticks right there, y'all. Anyway, I appreciate y'all so much. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. We're at 50 minutes, which is great. My beloved sisters and my wonderful brothers. It's about 6 o'clock Arizona time. All right. I saw that pop up. You, what's up? What you mean? I know you ain't working today. Anyway, we'll chat, boo.